What a relief.
Ramos, what's going on? Elite Ninja, what's up? I had a really friggin' long day yesterday. Really sore. Oh man. Just gonna wait for some more people to pop in. Marquise, be back. What's going on? Jake Sadoff. I got really triggered by your video yesterday. Thank you for exposing it. Yeah, man. What pissed me off the most is just how fucking entitled and retarded and dishonest she was being. Like, if she just said, I don't give a fuck about animals, whatever, you know, I probably wouldn't have been that upset if she was just honest about it, but she's trying to say, I identify as a vegan even though I eat animal products, so, you know, I think it's only right that I call myself vegan. Like, fuck right off. Oh damn, didn't know you uploaded yesterday, no notification. What was it about? KLL, who's a pretty damn popular vegan, but, you know, turns out she's not vegan, YouTuber. She has almost 2 million subscribers. The way she runs her YouTube channel is a bit strange. She's been uploading for several years, but she only ever has, like, videos that are, like, a year old. So she deletes a lot of her content for some reason. I think she makes most of her money on Instagram, because she doesn't upload to YouTube all that frequently. Lately, it seems she's been uploading a little bit more frequently, but if you look at the upload schedule, like, few from 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months. But she is a big YouTuber. She has a huge Instagram following, almost 1 million followers on Instagram. And she just made up some bullshit excuse for why she thinks it's okay to eat non-vegan candy bars and eat movie theater popcorn. Did you lose streaming rights on your main channel? Yeah, I did. I got a copyright strike. Well, not a copyright strike. I got a copyright claim on one of my Patreon streams. And apparently now, if you get a copyright claim on one of your streams, they take away your streaming privileges, which is fucking insane. Have you ever thought to respond to any of Isaac Butterfield's videos? I have before. Apparently I just made a recent one. I might respond to that. Who knows? What macronutrient ratios do you recommend? I weigh 130 pounds with relatively low body fat and want to build some muscle. Well, the ideal amount of protein for muscle growth for like strength athletes is 0.75 grams of protein per pound of lean body mass. Now, you don't really have to hit that number. It's just what's been It's just what is ideal based on nitrogen balance data. Really, training stimulus is what makes you build muscle. So it's not like eating a lot of protein is really going to help you build more muscle. It's the training stimulus. But you do need a certain amount of protein to, build muscle and adequately recover. And generally speaking, based on nitrogen balance data, 0.75 grams of protein per pound of body weight is ideal. But that is kind of high, so if you really don't want to hit that number, you don't absolutely have to. And then I'd say you should be eating at least 15% of your calories from fat. I think 20 to 25% would be ideal for most people. And if you're a woman, you definitely don't want to go below 20%. Men can handle a little lower. And just fill out the rest of your, macros with carbs. So that's basically how I calculate what an ideal macronutrient ratio would be. What happened to your durian rider rapist videos? Well, I'll show you what happened. So, oh right, I'm not logged into my fucking Vegan Gains account here. Basically what ended up happening was, okay, I can't show you this on camera, but Durian Rider sent me this threatening email saying, if you don't take down your videos, I'm going to get a lawyer to sue you, and I'm going to get your videos taken down. Now, he's a homeless drug addict. There's no way he can afford to get a lawyer, move to Canada, and drag out some international lawsuit. So that's not what worried me. What worried me is I have 3 videos about him, and he could put like copyright claims in all 3 videos. And if they're DMCA takedown notices, he could get all the videos. He could get my channel taken down because YouTube has a 3-strike policy. So what I did is I just privated the first 2 videos and just left part 2 up. And this is hilarious. So just recently he uploaded this. This is back on July 30th, so it's been almost, about a week now. He made a video claiming that he's going to sue me, which is just a fucking lie. But the funny thing is, look at the title, Why I'm Suing Vegan Gains. This is on his Ask Durian Rider account. This isn't even on his main account. So, what I figure is, he actually thought I was afraid of him suing me, and not that he'd put DMCA takedown notices on my videos because he's a fucking idiot. So he tried to make another threat about a lawsuit, but he doesn't want too many people to see it, because if he put it up on his main channel, that would probably get like at least 10,000 views. Like, videos about me tend to get a bit more than the average, so at least 10,000, probably 25,000 people would end up seeing it. Here on his, one of his alternate channels, only 1,000 people saw it. So I think what he's trying to do here is threaten me, but he doesn't want anyone to see it, because if people see it, they'd figure out he's lying about the lawsuit if he doesn't end up doing anything. And it's really retarded that he thought that I was afraid of him suing me, because, he knows YouTube's policies. I took down 2 of the videos and left 1 up. If that wasn't about copyright strikes, then why would I leave 1 up if I was afraid of a lawsuit? So that's just fucking retarded. But I'm not going to make a video about this because that would just give him attention, which is what he likes, so, he can run his mouth off all he fucking wants. I might unprivate some of those videos because it looks like he's too afraid to even make a copyright claim against me. So I'll probably unprivate the one see what he does. You know, Harley watches the stream, right? Yeah, well. Richard, what is your take on omega-3 versus 6 fats and the consumption of nuts and olive oil? I'm considering trying a vegan ketogenic diet. So, I don't think ketogenic diets are ideal, even if they're completely vegan. Consuming that much fat just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. You're inevitably going to consume a lot of omega-6 fats, and especially if you have the gene that hypermetabolizes omega-3s and omega-6s, you can produce an excess of arachidonic acid, and which is pro-inflammatory, and it's linked to certain cancers, heart disease. So I think you should just avoid ketogenic diets. It's just not a dietary pattern we've evolved to be on. So now, for short-term weight loss, can it be effective? Yeah, it's a tool in the toolbox, but I'd say just don't consider it for any kind of long-term sort of thing. It's just not ideal for health. Is the Beyond Meat burger healthier than an elk burger made by Joe Rogan? I'd say so, but you know, what do I know? Joe Rogan gets you know, massage therapists and chiropractors on his channel who seem to know what they're talking about. Okay, so the other day I uploaded this video, Kalel versus Vegan Gains, featuring Unnatural Vegan. Kalel basically made a video saying she's deliberately purchased leather products, including leather shoes. She regularly eats non-vegan candy bars. When she goes to the movie theaters, she buys movie theater popcorn, which isn't vegan. It has butter. And I've gone up to these people and asked, and she's admitted it herself. So her excuse for this basically amounted to, I'm just not ready to go like 100% vegan all the time. And she said, you know, movie theater popcorn, candy bars, it gives me this warm, nice, fuzzy feeling from my childhood. And what else? She also said she should be immune from criticism because look at all the good I've done for the vegan movement. So, right, because she has a huge YouTube channel, that means she can get away with whatever she wants. Basically, she's a spoiled, self-entitled bitch. What's funny, too, is she left this retarded comment on my video, and I pinned it. You can see right here, pinned by Vegan Gains. Maybe you should watch the whole video and get your facts straight before going off on me. Your whole argument goes out the window when it becomes apparent that you don't have your facts straight. Starting with your description, I do not regularly consume animal products. Well, yeah, you do. You admitted that you eat fucking about 4 candy bars per year. Every time you go to the movies, you buy movie theater popcorn. That's eating animal products with consistent regularity. So this is just a retarded war game she is playing. But you are correct, I'm not technically vegan. This is why I made a video announcing that I'm no longer using the vegan label. That's another lie. Let's go back here. Maybe she deleted this comment, but we'll see. Many are saying in these comments that I should call myself vegetarian since I consume maybe 4 candy bars per year, and by definition, you know what, maybe I should, but I guess I look at it like, which label do I identify with more? Do all of my exclusions and efforts towards being vegan mean nothing? Should I be demoted to vegetarian status since I consume 1 tablespoon of dairy per year? So basically she says she wants to identify as vegan and she feels like she's still vegan despite eating animal products. But then here she's saying, oh, well, the point of my video is announcing that I'm vegetarian. No, it wasn't. You were saying that it's okay to eat animal products but still call yourself vegan. So that's a complete fucking lie. But bro, you just have to take a step back and ask yourself, is this really helping the vegan movement? Okay, so is you making a video saying that it's impossible to be vegan and it's so difficult, it's such a challenging, monotonous, like, just hard lifestyle that it's virtually impossible to follow? Is that helping the vegan movement? Is claiming that it's okay to eat animal products because, you know, you feel like it makes you feel good, you have happy childhood memories, is that helping the vegan movement? Is calling yourself vegan when you're eating animal products and confusing people on what veganism actually is that helping the vegan movement? Is promoting welfarism and reducitarianism rather than abolitionism, which is what veganism is? It's an abolitionist moral view. Is that helping veganism? No. Completely goes against veganism. And it's funny how non-vegans are the ones who always fucking tell me how, like, what effective vegan activism is. How the fuck would you know? You're not vegan. Why the fuck are you criticizing my methods of activism when you're not even vegan? I'm not a pussy. I can handle you calling me names, but my point is at least get your fucking facts straight if you're going to come after me. I do have my facts straight. You're a fucking liar, and you are a pussy. And I have proof that you're a pussy. Where did her comment go? I pinned it. You can see it's pinned right here. Where did your comment go? Oh, I guess all the fucking backlash you were getting was too fucking much for you, huh? And I even posted it here. How long do you think it will take before this dishonest moron starts deleting her comments? So you are a pussy. You are a dishonest moron. I am smarter than you, and I know everything you're gonna fucking do and say because you're stupid. So, I figured I'd respond to this video she made on August the 2nd. This was 2 days ago, so I think this is responding to some of the backlash she received.
Hi guys, so I'm sorry to do another black screen video, but I really just wanted to pop in really fast and make a video. Didn't feel like getting ready, you know, I just feel like I have some things that I need to say.
So I think she's just so nervous, and she really didn't expect to get this much backlash that she can't even stand showing her face on camera.
And I was just gonna post this big long letter on Twitter because that's where all of this drama has been happening.
Horseshit. People have made response videos to you.
But I just feel like a letter does not quite convey what I'm trying to say. I need you guys to hear my tone, all right? So here we are. This video was totally not planned. I have so many things that I'm actually trying to get done right now with my move, and I really wanted to post a
move. That sounds like horseshit. She's rich. She lives in California. She's an Instagram model. It's like a huge YouTube channel. You don't have to do fucking anything. You're just full of shit.
A video for you guys tomorrow that I was supposed to film today, and I'm just so behind, so I don't know why I'm doing this right now, but here I am. Okay, I wrote this letter to you guys.
That's interesting. Did you know that Kalel was Anthony Padilla's ex-girlfriend, Smosh? That's why she has 2 million subs? Okay, that makes sense. Like, a few people told me that she was, like, abusive to her ex-boyfriend, so I don't know the whole story there, but I could imagine.
and I just think it's something that really needs to be said. Sorry if this makes people mad, but this is my personal truth. This is what I think is important to.
Funny. You're worried about making people mad, but you're not worried about causing the suffering and death of animals with your food and clothing choices. And perfume and makeup choices as well, because you even said you deliberately buy, like, makeup and perfumes that contain animal products for whatever fucking reason.
To share and to say, and this is what I'm gonna say, so take a seat, get ready, here we go. All right, so today on Twitter, I publicly stepped down as a vegan. I know, that's very...
You kind of didn't. But okay, let's just run with that. You're not vegan anymore. Good.
crazy. Over 5 years that I've identified as being vegan or...
Yeah, it's funny. Like, vegan isn't really just something you can identify as. If you want to have the identity of vegan, then you have to actually be vegan. Like, you know, if you want to be a doctor, you can't just identify as a doctor. You kind of need the credentials to be a doctor. Sort of like how you need the credentials to be a vegan. Don't consume animal products? Oh, but you consume animal products. You were never vegan, you fucking lying bitch.
saying that I'm on my vegan journey, and...
Vegan journey? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, you can't just say, oh, well, you know, I'm reducing animal products, but, you know, there's a few things like candy bars and popcorn. I just can't give those up, but I'm on my vegan journey. Fuck off. You're not on any fucking journey. You're just doing whatever the fuck you want.
Today I've decided that my journey has come to an end, and that doesn't mean that I'm gonna
You were never vegan, so I don't know what the fuck you're calling it a vegan journey for.
go back to eating meat or anything by any means, of course not, but I'm no longer identifying as a vegan. And it's mostly because, you know, suddenly I understood how meat eaters view vegans. Like,
Oh, so because people criticized you, and you, like, this is the thing, you're a spoiled brat who thinks you should be immune from criticism. So you're upset that people rightfully criticized you. And now you're saying, now I get how meat eaters feel. Like, this has nothing to do with whether or not the criticism is valid, is it? So, your fifis are hurt. People criticized you for being a selfish fucking bitch. And you're worried about your fifis being hurt, but not the fucking animals that you're killing. Okay.
like suddenly I got put on the other side of things, and I was like, whoa. You know, like the backlash I got from admitting that I'm not a perfect vegan.
Here she does it again. Admitting that I'm not a perfect vegan. You admitted you're not vegan, ever. You were never vegan. So, like, you're either vegan or you're not. There's not 99% vegan. I'm not a perfect vegan. Fuck off. You're either vegan or you're not. So she's still doing this, playing this game, where she's like, I still kind of identify as vegan. Yeah, you deliberately cause the suffering and death of animals. Why should you be immune from criticism? And I think especially what people are mad at least this is what pissed me off. You think you should be immune from criticism, and you've been lying to people. Like, you've said you were vegan this whole fucking time, and then you've admitted you were never vegan. Like, the lies and dishonesty is what's pissing people off the fucking most. Do you think people should be nice and friendly to you when you've been lying to them constantly? Again, you're a spoiled fucking brat. You think you should be able to get away with whatever the fuck you want. Oh yeah, Kalel had a ton of videos with her ex-boyfriend, famous Anthony, on her YouTube channel before, and he deleted all of her videos after her breakup and started to promote veganism recently. Until now. Interesting. Yeah, Kalel is just a dumb bitch. She's just like Blair White. She only viewed veganism as a fashion accessory, but couldn't be asked to actually live the label. Totally. That's absolutely right.
Made it abundantly clear to me that, like, I just don't want to identify myself with this group of people any longer.
Then why did you just say in your last video that you still want to identify as vegan? Again, you use veganism as a fashion accessory. You're just butthurt that people called you out on your horse shit. Again, notice how she didn't address how she was wrongfully criticized? No, you were criticized appropriately. You just think you should be immune from criticism.
Longer. It's just the level of intolerance really.
Level of intolerance. So you think we should have tolerance to cruelty? How much tolerance should we have to cruelty? Like you've said yourself, oh, I'm never going to eat meat again. Okay, so where are the boundaries here? Why is a little bit of cruelty okay? Is it okay for me to be a little cruel to you? So I guess that would mean that it's okay to criticize you. So then what do you have to complain about? If a little bit of cruelty is acceptable, then why is it unacceptable that people have been criticizing you? So criticism, unacceptable. A little bit of cruelty towards animals, acceptable? This doesn't make any fucking sense.
Blew my mind, and like, I don't know, I understand the frustration. Like, I really understand where the vegans that are upset at me, I understand where you're coming from. I really do. And I don't
think you do, because you were never vegan. How could you understand how vegans feel when you're never vegan? You're clearly, like, she's almost on that spectrum of narcissism and sociopathy. I don't think she's a sociopath or a narcissist, but she's almost there. It's hard for me to imagine that you could possibly understand how people feel about the situation, just given how self-entitled you're fucking acting.
expect us to see eye to eye on my looser definition of vegan. Like, that's totally fine.
Whoa, okay, we gotta go back there. I did challenge her to a debate on Twitter, and she has not responded. Let's see. Since you have such strong feelings on reducitarianism and activism, why don't we have a debate about the abolitionist approach versus welfarism / reducitarianism and effective vegan activism? What else is there? And she has since given me, your last video was funny as fuck, but be careful you don't get striked by YouTube, Richie. That's a weird thumbnail, like it's a weird image. Yeah, so she hasn't responded to me. Let's check her Twitter to see what she's up to. Most vegans don't realize that cultivating a negative image and demanding ridiculously high standards while refusing to be judged for their own shortcomings is doing nothing to create a vegan world. Oh, this wasn't her. She just tweeted at Kalel. Let me guess. This bitch is probably vegetarian or something. That is just the most horseshit argument. Guess what? It's not hard to not eat candy bars or not eat movie theater popcorn. Claiming that it's almost impossible to be vegan, that's not helping to create a vegan world. Claiming that it's okay to cause cruelty, so long as there's some sort of emotional desire that you want to fulfill, that's not helping to create a vegan world. So fuck right off. I think it's literally insane that we're so caught up in the identity aspect that I can't generalize and call myself vegan. So this was August 4th. She's saying it's insane that I can't call myself vegan. And this is August 2nd where she says, I'm no longer identifying myself with veganism. August 4th. It's insane that I can't call myself vegan. these statements seem to contradict each other. It sounds like you still want to fucking be called vegan, but here you're saying, oh yeah, I'm not going to call myself vegan anymore. What? Look at this. Honey, if you're gonna call me out and talk shit, why don't you have the balls to not block me before doing so? You want to chastise me, but you don't want me to see you doing it, okay? So now you're criticizing people who won't stand up to you, but you won't reply to me. And you delete comments off of my videos.
This is an ad for...
So you'll delete comments off of my videos after you criticize me, but you're criticizing other people for basically doing the exact same thing. Okay. This is a lot to work with. I'm actually planning on making a response to this retarded horse shit.
Expect us to see eye to eye on my looser definition of vegan? Like,
there she goes again. So now she's claiming that she has a different definition of veganism where you can eat candy bars, buy movie theater popcorn, buy leather shoes. So she still wants to call herself vegan. So she's directly contradicting her earlier statement.
that's totally fine. But what's extremely bothersome to me is the choice to prioritize following the fine print over truly progressing the cause.
How does eating movie theater popcorn, eating candy bars, and buying leather shoes progress the cause of veganism? Changing the definition of something doesn't help to progress the cause. Like, again, veganism is an animal abolitionist viewpoint. It's not a reducitarianism viewpoint. It's not a welfarism moral viewpoint. It's about abolition. You're not pro-abolition, so you're not vegan. You're not promoting veganism when you say this shit. So when you're saying, advancing the cause, you're not advancing the cause.
Because, I mean, if you really think about it, the whole point of the vegan movement is to reduce animal suffering on a global...
Yeah, and eventually lead to the abolition of animal agriculture. You're not promoting abolition.
...scale to the fullest possible extent, yeah? So, like...
Okay, if you're trying to reduce animal suffering to the fullest possible extent, then why are you consuming animal products, you fucking lying bitch? So you even admit that you're not vegan. By your own fucking standards, you're not vegan.
Like, how do we do that? How do we minimize as much suffering as we can as quick...
Huh. Well, maybe you could start by not eating movie theater popcorn, not eating candy bars, and not buying leather shoes, you dumb bitch.
...as we possibly can. Because that's the mission, right? Like, it should never be about ego or identity politics, because at the end of the...
Then why the fuck are you complaining about how I can't call myself vegan, wah. In this video, on Twitter, like... I don't even... Her thoughts are just so inconsistent, incoherent.
At the end of the day, it should always be about reducing global suffering.
Okay. So then why are you buying animal products? What's your excuse?
Let's not forget that. So how do we reduce suffering as quickly as possible?
I don't know, by not consuming animal products, idiot?
This one line that I'm about to say, this is the answer. There's no
consume animal products.
There's no other answer. Like, this is the answer. By creating a shift in the supply and demand for vegan food and vegan products.
Okay, so you're eating movie theater popcorn, eating candy bars that aren't vegan, and you're buying leather shoes. So you're making an economic transaction that promotes supply and demand of these products. So I'm not getting this here. You're saying we have to stop buying animal products, but you're buying animal products. Yeah, she doesn't understand her own argument. And she doesn't see how she's being a complete hypocrite. Do you think Kalel is hot? Be honest, lol. I don't. She's very plain looking to me. Like, let's see if you can find one without makeup. Kalel, no makeup. Yeah, yeah, I think that's her. I mean, she's not attractive. She's just, very plain looking. And, she just globs on makeup to make herself look better. And she kind of has skin problems, which, might be related to the animal products she eats. Who knows? Or maybe the makeup she smears on her face. But I wouldn't say she's attractive. I think she's extremely plain looking. Nothing about her, like, stands out to me. And her being a complete fucking dishonest, lying moron bitch totally ruins it for me. Like, if she, like, offered to suck my dick and, like, come on, fuck me in my ass as hard as I could, I'd be like, nah, thanks. Fuck right off. Like, if I wasn't married, obviously. I'd be like, nah, I could do better. Are you against makeup and perfume? Yes, I am. I think makeup is fucking retarded. I hate makeup. Can't stand it.
That's it. That is how change will happen, and suffering will decrease as fast.
Okay, so then why are you eating animal products? If you agree that reducing demand for these products will reduce animal suffering, then why are you producing demand for these products?
As it possibly can. Period. So how do we create that shift as quickly and efficiently as possible?
Abolitionist approach.
Well, most vegans will tell you that it's by educating the masses and getting as many people to commit to going vegan as possible.
Here we go. So now she's trying to say that a welfarist reducitarianism approach is more palatable, so more people will end up actually doing it, whereas an abolitionist approach, well, fewer people will end up adopting it. Okay. If this were the 18th century and there was still slavery, or no, let's say it's a little bit later. Let's say it's around the time of the American Civil War, and there was this argument going on whether or not we should abolish slavery. Would you have been on the side of, yes, let's abolish slavery? Or would you have said, you know, we shouldn't get rid of slavery. We should just encourage people to reduce slavery. You know, if you have a cotton plantation, buy fewer slaves. You know, you don't have to completely get rid of slavery. Just, you know, like, you just don't get as many slaves. You know, you're doing such a good job by getting rid of a few slaves and not, you know, buying as many slaves. Is that what you'd promote? You wouldn't say, slavery is fucking wrong, let's not do it. You'd say, no, just reduce slavery. Let's see, what else? What if this were, like, again, let's apply this to any sort of legal principle we have, like murder. Do we have a certain amount of tolerance for things like murder? No, we don't. If you commit murder, you go to jail for life generally, and some places will even give you a death sentence. We have an abolitionist approach when there are certain things that are just extremely morally reprehensible, like murder. We have an abolitionist stance against murder. Rape. We have an abolitionist stance against rape. No amount of rape is okay. No amount of murder is okay. But you're trying to say we should have a reducitarianism stance for rape and murder of animals. So, yeah, that's what you're promoting. You're saying a certain amount of cruelty is okay. A certain amount of murder is okay. A certain amount of rape is okay. But us criticizing you, that's crossing the line.
However, I personally disagree with that strategy, because I think if we really care about the mantra that we preach, which is ending animal suffering, we need to realize that it's not about getting as many people to go vegan as we can.
What? Okay, she's going to have to fucking do some explaining. It's not about getting as many people to go vegan as we can. So we don't want people to adopt an abolitionist standpoint. We want people to keep raping, murdering, and torturing animals.
It's about getting as many people to buy vegan food and vegan products as we possibly can.
No. It's about creating vegans. Again, like, yeah, supporting vegan products is a good thing. But the point is to get people to adopt an abolitionist viewpoint. If you don't have the abolitionist viewpoint there, then you're not going to end up stopping these industries.
Dollars are votes. We need as
Dollars or votes. Okay, so then why are you voting to produce more dairy products, more egg products, more leather products? Why are you buying leather shoes, eating movie theater popcorn that has butter in it, eating candy bars that have dairy and or eggs in it?
as many people as possible to vote vegan, because that's how the animals will win this election.
Yeah, so you're talking about... She's kind of making an incredibly simplified version of supply and demand. It's as if the free market is a majority wins voting system. Like, so if more people end up buying vegan burgers as opposed to burgers, burgers will just go away even though people are still buying those. Like, no. If people are still buying normal burgers are still going to be produced, even if people keep buying vegan burgers. Like, you have to have an abolitionist viewpoint. The idea is to tell people, this is morally wrong, don't do it, and then they'll eat the vegan burgers, and then the normal burgers, there won't be any demand for them anymore, because people have adopted an abolitionist viewpoint, and then we win. You're basically telling people, oh, well, you know, a little bit of cruelty is fine. So, you know, as long as, you know, you're mostly supporting cruelty-free options, then, you know, eventually things will just work themselves out. No. Horseshit. Did you and Richard watch the new documentary Dominion? No, haven't. KLL said that her friend is launching a new campaign and coining a new label for fake vegans like KLL, and that she'll adopt this new label, but I'm glad your video pointed out her bullshit before that. I don't even know what the fuck she's going to call it. She should call it being a spoiled fucking brat. Is buying aftershave with ambergris in it vegan/ethical? I don't know what ambergris is. Oh, produced in the digestive system of sperm whales. Well, as far as I know, ambergris is found, like, washed up on the shore. I don't think people... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think people actually... Maybe people actually do end up killing whales for that. Like, I know in... maybe it's Norway or somewhere where they actually kill some of these whales, and then they might harvest some of that, like, whale vomit, basically. I'm not entirely sure, but I'd say, just to be on the safe side, you shouldn't buy perfume or aftershave that contains this crap, because there might be people who deliberately kill these whales to get this crap, which I know is extremely expensive, so it could be quite profitable. So I'd say, just to be on the safe side, no, it's not.
The current, I don't even know, 100 million votes that vegans are putting in every year right now is great, sure. But if we can campaign...
You know it's not just vegans who buy, like, mock meats, right? Like, I don't get it. Why do we have to adopt a reducitarianism approach rather than an abolitionist approach to get people to eat vegan options? You don't. Like, there are already people who are switching from dairy milk and ice cream to, like, almond, soy, cashew milk and ice cream, just for health reasons alone. Or maybe they do know about some of the ethical reasons, and they just haven't gone vegan yet. Like, again, why do we have to preach this abolitionist approach to get people to eat vegan products? Talking about the abolitionist perspective is enough to encourage people to buy vegan products. Again, I'd love to have a debate about this, because your arguments are completely incoherent and nonsense. And I'd love to see you completely flop on topics like this. Why do we have to promote a reducitarianism approach to get people to eat non-vegan products when I can tell someone, you know, you shouldn't eat any animal products because they're cruel, unhealthy, bad for the environment? That won't encourage someone to start trying vegan options. I have to tell them, you know, it's perfectly fine for you to murder, rape, and torture animals, but, you know, if you could just reduce it a little bit, that would be great. That's going to be a better strategy to get them to try vegan products? That makes no sense.
and reach the non-vegans to start voting our way as well, we're looking at billions of votes instead of mere millions. What I'm trying to say is the more people who become open-minded to even flirting with the vegan lifestyle, the faster that shift will happen. But vegans, I gotta tell you, as of right now, a lot of people don't even want to flirt with veganism. And that is a big fucking problem.
You won't even flirt with veganism. You were never vegan. Again, how is telling people that it's okay to cause cruelty, suffering, death, torture, rape, murder animals, how is that going to convince them to adopt more plant-based options than telling them it's wrong to torture, murder, rape animals, animal products are unhealthy, bad for the environment? How is telling people it's okay to do wrong. A more convincing argument to adopt cruelty-free options than telling them it's wrong flat out to support cruelty. I don't get it. You won't find many sperm whales outside Norway, the sea. I don't know much about that whale vomit crap in the perfume industry. I'd say, just to be on the safe side, it sounds like some people would actually hunt down and kill sperm whales to sell that crap. So I'd say you should just avoid any perfume that contains that whale vomit crap. So since many theaters don't use butter while making popcorn, then she can always call the places to see if the popcorn is vegan and only go to those theaters as well, other than bringing her own snack. Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, there aren't any movie theaters here that serve vegan popcorn, but I mean, why wouldn't you just bring your own snack? And they do sell some vegan options at movie theaters. I mean, you can find some kind of candy they sell, I'm sure. And, like, chips. I'm sure some movie theaters sell potato chips. Like, I just don't get why this is so difficult.
I think the majority of people find the vegan label to be too much to take on because of how we've branded it. So they're just...
You made a video yesterday saying it's virtually impossible to be vegan, so why even try? And you're saying so many people find it, like, impossible to go vegan because of the way we branded it. You're the one making these claims. Like, I'm not getting this. Again, how is it helping the vegan movement to have you say it's basically impossible to ever be vegan, so might as well eat candy bars, movie theater popcorn, buy leather shoes, you know, whatever. How is that helping the vegan movement?
simply not willing to open their minds to it. So my strategy is this.
Horseshit.
We need to make the lifestyle look as attractive and inviting as we possibly can.
Okay, so why don't you just change the definition to veganism to be reducitarian, like Charles Marlowe did. You can still be vegan and eat meat, just eat less of it. Being vegan means eating less meat, rather than having an abolitionist perspective. So, right, that would make it more attractive, right? Okay. So, clearly, there's an issue with that. That's not veganism. The idea is to reduce suffering and death as much as reasonably possible. If you're changing it to something else, like reducitarianism, then that's not veganism. Like, why do you have to change the definition of this to make it as palatable as possible, when that doesn't accomplish the goal you set out to do?
Which, sorry to the militant vegans out there, but...
Okay, so now she's one of those.
That means allowing a little bit of flexibility and becoming more understanding about people's own processes.
If I were to take your dog, shoot it in the head with a gun, slit its throat open, chop it up into a bunch of little tiny pieces, and just, you know, maybe have a little make a hot dog out of your dog. If I were to just do that once a year, is that vegan? Just eat like a piece of your dog once a year. Just save it for a while. Is that vegan? Like, again, this reducitarian idea. Oh, you know, if you just eat a little bit of animal products, it's okay. Like, no, it's not. You don't actually have an actual moral justification for doing this. You're eliminating personal responsibility from the equation, and you're trying to say, well, it'll reduce animal suffering as much, like, more on a global scale if we have this sort of activism approach. But you're completely removing personal responsibility from the equation. So why don't you have the personal responsibility to not eat movie theater popcorn, not buy candy bars, not buy leather shoes? You can't answer that. And you even admitted yourself that these are bad, terrible excuses I have. So now you've come up with this. A way to eliminate personal responsibility from the equation.
People need to feel applauded for all of their efforts. They can't go into this feeling like everything is just pointing out how they could be doing better.
I'm just speechless. People shouldn't be criticized for doing wrongdoing. If I were to fuck a 5-year-old kid in the ass, and basically give them, like, severe disfigurements because my huge fucking thick black cock can't really fit in their ass, are you going to tell me, Richard, you shouldn't put your huge, big, fat, thick black cock up that kid's ass? Start with your fingers first, you know? Like, reduce the amount of suffering you're causing. You know, it's fine, you can still, like, rape that kid, but, you know, just, you know, don't be so extreme about it. Like, this is the sort of idea you're promoting? Like, yeah, people should be fucking criticized when they're committing wrongdoing, and people should be told, you should not fucking do this. It's morally reprehensible and horrible. But you're saying, oh, no, it's fine to cause suffering, death, horrible cruelty. It's just that, you know, we shouldn't shame people into thinking they're doing something wrong, even though they, in fact, are. This just makes me sick. Apparently there are 661 AMC theaters in the US, and their popcorn is vegan, and even the additional buttery topping at many of their locations is vegan. And she lives in the USA, so she always has that option. That's fucking hilarious. She's a lazy fucking piece of crap.
So now I just want to take a moment to get into the whole label debacle, okay? Because a lot of people seem to think that I should label myself a vegetarian, even though my life is heavily...
If you consume animal products like eggs or dairy, you're not vegan. Even if you eat a vegan diet, but you buy leather shoes, you're not vegan. So, yeah, you're not vegan, you're vegetarian. A vegetarian who buys leather.
Catered to being vegan. Like, ridiculously catered to being vegan. I should call myself a vegetarian.
Yeah, because you eat animal products.
Because
Here she is fucking complaining about not being able to call herself vegan again, even though at the beginning she said, I'm not going to call myself vegan again. Okay, so why are you complaining about this?
I consume approximately a tablespoon of dairy a year. I just, you know, I don't...
You know, sorry, police officer, but, you know, I only murder, like, one person every few years. Like, I don't know. Can like, you're really gonna call me a murderer for that? Just... Like, Kalel, where do we draw these boundaries? So, a little bit of cruelty is okay? How many candy bars can you have before you can't call yourself a vegan? 1 per year? Oh, that's fine. 2 per year? Oh, that's fine. 4 per year, like you do? Oh, I'm vegan. What about 10? 10 candy bars per year? You still vegan? 20 candy bars per year? You're still vegan? Again, the idea behind veganism is it's an abolitionist perspective. We know now in this world today, we can't completely eliminate animal suffering and death, but the idea is to reduce it as much as reasonably possible. So it is still an abolitionist perspective. This crap you're spewing, oh, I can eat a few candy bars and I can call myself vegan. It's only like a little tablespoon of dairy per year. That's not vegan. That's not abolitionist. A little bit of cruelty is not okay. It's just strange, this approach she's going down. First, she acknowledged that she has absolutely no argument, no excuse for eating movie theater popcorn or eating candy bars. Then she tried to eliminate personal responsibility by saying, oh, well, this means of activism is more effective, so that means personal responsibility goes completely out the window, even though it doesn't. You still have no justification for supporting cruelty yourself. And now she's trying to say, oh, well, it's just such a small amount, what does it even matter? If I were to smack you across the face, would you charge me with assault? Well, it's just a minor assault. It's just such a small amount of suffering, what does it even matter, right? No, you'd still charge me with assault. Funny how, in this society, so many of our rules and laws are based around an abolitionist perspective. No amount of murder is acceptable. No amount of rape is acceptable. No amount of assault and battery is acceptable. So why is it acceptable to torture, kill, murder, rape animals? Even if it's just a little bit. Why? Again, you can't answer that.
I don't know. I guess the question is, why not just use the vegetarian label for those people who are making efforts towards veganism but aren't quite there?
Yeah, you're vegetarian if you consume dairy and eggs. And you're just a meat eater if you consume fish, poultry, beef, pork.
Isn't that enough? Like, what's wrong with being called the vegetarian? Well, I personally think that people use labels to define their choices. So if you want people to become complacent with eating however much dairy they want, since technically they're vegetarian.
What? So, this is the most insane argument I've ever fucking heard in my life. So, you want people to think that it's okay to eat animal products while being vegan, but you want people to stop eating dairy products by forcing them to call themselves vegan. How would that make them stop eating dairy products if it's okay to consume dairy products as a vegan? Again, it's strange. She just completely contradicts what she's saying. So now she's defining veganism as an abolitionist perspective, and she doesn't like the idea of people adopting these labels like vegetarian because it doesn't promote an abolitionist perspective. Oh, what? Like... So it's wrong to say that veganism is an abolitionist moral value, and then you want people to adopt the label vegan to abolish their consumption of animal products. This makes no fucking sense. Yeah, excusitarian would be a good label for her. I agree. We should call her excusitarian.
Then by all means, let's continue with just those two rigid labels. However, I personally think that polarizing someone who is really trying to be vegan by pushing them into the vegetarian label is hurting the movement more than it's...
So this sounds like vegan cheetah bullshit. Being vegan means you are adhering to a certain set of moral standards. If you're not adhering to those moral standards, then you're not vegan. I just don't get it. like, I can't even, I, you know, they're stupid, and I can usually try to work out what these stupid people might be thinking, even though it makes no sense, but this is just so goddamn retarded, I can't even begin to understand the thought process that's going through her head. I'm just totally confused. Again, this is why I'd like to have a live debate. But this is just completely confusing. Not allowing a vegetarian to call themselves vegan is hurting the vegan movement? Like, what?
It's helping it. And again, this isn't about protecting the vegan ego. This is about reducing suffering on a global scale as quickly and efficiently as possible.
So that means personal responsibility completely goes out the window. Any individual can do whatever the fuck they want, so long as they call themselves vegan and tell other people they should go vegan. How does that help? Anything. Like what? So the term vegan ends up meaning absolutely nothing. No one has any kind of personal responsibility to reduce suffering and death as much as reasonably possible. But you want everyone to just call themselves vegan just because you like the sound of that label? Like, what?
So with that in mind, I think having a transitioning label for those who are making real strides towards veganism and putting in the effort to
Okay, this is starting to make a little bit more sense, because what she was saying there, it sounded like she just wants everyone to call themselves vegan because it like hurts their feelings if they can't be called vegan or something. Okay, so like, again, this is what makes, well, it's pretty clear, obviously, but she's clearly not interested in reducing animal suffering and death. She just likes the sound of the label. She likes feeling special and being the center of attention and virtue signaling. So she's really offended that she can't call herself vegan anymore. And this is why she's talking about these labels the way she's talking about them. She doesn't want to be called vegetarian because, oh, that's not special enough. Well, she can't call herself vegan anymore, so let's come up with a new special label for myself. Okay.
minimize their impact will have a huge effect on sales of vegan food and vegan products.
Prove it. Do you have any evidence for that whatsoever? You're claiming that this approach demonstrably has is more effective for increasing the sales of vegan products. Prove it. How is telling people that it's okay to cause suffering and death a little bit? How is that better than saying it's never okay? I don't get it. Well, like, if I were to just have a conversation with someone on the street and say, you know, you shouldn't consume dairy ever because these cows are literally raped, then their children are ripped away from them, they're put in the veal industry where they're tortured and killed, then these cows are abused their entire lives, and then once they can't produce any more milk, they're murdered. And that's the dairy industry. That's why you should never support the dairy industry. You think that's a less effective approach than telling someone, you know, it's okay to, you know, torture and kill and murder cows a little bit every now and again. You think that's going to encourage them to buy vegan products more so than telling them about the industry and why they should never support it? I just don't understand the argument here. You're just making baseless claims without explaining your fucking reasoning behind these claims, and you just have no tangible evidence whatsoever. Like you're saying, this will increase sales of this product. Okay, do you have any marketing data to support this?
Huge increase in sales means a huge shift in supply and demand, which means more products will be released catering to the vegan market, which means...
Okay, so why aren't you ensuring that you're going to movie theaters that are selling vegan popcorn? Why are you buying normal candy bars as opposed to vegan candy bars if you're trying to support the sale of vegan products? So again, you're trying to remove the aspect of personal responsibility, and you're saying, I have a marketing strategy that will increase sales of these products? Well, okay, great. What's your excuse for supporting cruelty? Nothing. You're just a dumb bitch and you're full of shit.
means veganism will become more accessible and look easier, which means it'll reach even more people, and more people will begin to make strides, which will create an even bigger shift in supply and demand.
This is just rambling horseshit. Again, she's just making baseless claims about sales figures, and it's just the same argument. She's removing personal responsibility from the equation. I think I'll end the stream here. I am going to respond to this video, some of the comments she's made on Twitter, and a few of the comments she's made to me. I'm probably going to have that video out tonight. How does she have 2 million subs? Apparently she was with Smosh, who's a huge YouTuber. For those who are interested, that video is uploaded by the YouTuber Kalel Deleted Video under the title Why I'm Vegan and How You Can Be Too, which was a good video. Okay. That's interesting. Why I'm Vegan, How You Can Be Too. Let's see if that just comes up. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll include this in the response. That is interesting. I'll see what she has to say here. Alright guys, so, oh, VPN, wait. Oh, Vegetable Police in one of his latest videos said he's waiting for a response video from you regarding his carnivore diet. I don't know if I'm going to respond to him. He's just so stupid, I don't even know if it's worth responding to. What do you think of Joey Carbstrong, and what about his media appearances? I think he's doing really well right now, and especially his media appearances. He's making his opponents look like totally dishonest, fucking retarded dipshits. Like Pierce Morgan. They're talking about animal cruelty, and then they brought up his criminal history. It's like, what the fuck? So he's making these people look like just pieces of shit, which is great. I hope he gets more media interviews and shit like that. He's doing a great job. She's a textbook example of what happens when a person is never told no when growing up. Total Beverly Hills brat. I agree. She needed some more smacks across the fucking face as a kid, like I said before. Alright, so I think I'm going to end the stream there. Again, thanks everyone for supporting me on Patreon. It's massively helpful, especially lately. The court case is coming to a conclusion. What's happened now is I'm going to end up being on probation for a year, where I just have to stay out of trouble and then my criminal record will be dropped. That's basically the deal we've worked out. And, what's it called? Before that's even done, I have to pay a shit ton of legal fees. I think the outstanding balance now is $7,000. It's insane. I'm still talking with my lawyer to see if it would be okay to make a big video about it. I haven't gotten a response back. But I'm kind of relieved that it's reaching a conclusion, though. So, therefore art thou happy. Would it be possible to countersue to get all of these legal fees back? I really doubt it, because if I were to try to countersue, that would cost more money, and that's a huge risk. Basically, it's me versus the system itself, and you're trying to convince the system itself that it's wrong. Well, if it doesn't want to do that, then it just won't do that. So it's kind of a really risky thing to do. Yeah, this cost us a little over $10,000 total in actual expenses, not to mention like loss in productivity, because for a while I didn't have all my fucking equipment with me to actually make videos. So yeah. Well, at least it's reaching a conclusion now, and hopefully I can make a video about it, but yeah, it's insane. And for those of you who are interested, I'll show you the video that actually, oh right, I'm not on my channel. Vegan Games. Shit, fucking gloves. So I bought a pair of leather gloves. This is the video that made the police raid my house and made me spend over 10 grand in legal expenses. So yeah, if any of you are interested in how fucked up the system is, there you go. You can watch that video. What kind of crimes did you supposedly commit? Absolutely nothing. The police basically raided my house. They opened up our kitchen drawer, and they said the folding knives we had in our kitchen drawer are illegal because they open up with centrifugal force. They had absolutely no evidence that we were going to harm anyone. We just happened to have knives that may or may not fall under the category of restricted. So that's it. That was the whole basis for this. I had to spend $10,000 in legal expenses because I had a few knives that you could fold open. Yeah, that's Canada. So, didn't you used to hate Joey Carbstrong? Yeah, because he was involved with Durian Rider, but, you know, he isn't anymore. He seems like he's matured a bit. He's a bit different than he used to be, so I think he's cool. Alright, so thanks for checking out the stream, guys. Again, like, huge thanks to everyone who donates on Patreon. I don't even care how much you donate. It's massively helpful, especially for situations like this that just happened. So, thanks a lot, guys, and it's absolutely helping with my mental sanity as well. Like, if I didn't have this kind of support online, I don't know. It's a good feeling to know that there are people who got my back, so I can't thank you guys enough for that. And yeah, so I'm just gonna get to work today, work on a response to Kalel, and I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. And I'm just going to wait a few seconds to make sure the video doesn't cut off too early. I think we're good now.